Praise the Most High today, family. It is another absolutely gorgeous day here in the Carolinas, and we're so glad to see it. I do hope everyone is well and that you're able to get out and enjoy this beautiful day, which the Most High has made, and we're rejoicing in it and glad. Hallelujah. I hope you have fair weather in your neck of the woods. It's been raining here in the Carolinas, but we'll take it. We sure will take it. Like I love to say, from where I'm coming from, I take whatever I can get. Yes, indeed. We're going to jump right on into this idea. This is the second one of the day. And it's called, We Won't Forget Where We Come From. No, sir, we won't forget where we come from. And we're so grateful for what the Most High has done for us, family. And I'm going to share a little short snippet of my testimony. And the reason why I'm so adamant about what I'm doing and my stand for the Most High. Back in 2016, I just came out of the Christian church. And by the leading of the Ruach HaKodesh, saying, come on out and separate yourself. And as a reward, the Most High asked me, he said, what do you want from me? What do you want me to do for you? So me being Robert, I said, I want wisdom, knowledge, and understanding like you did with Solomon, so I can help our people. And he said, Robert, be real, what you want? I said, well, I want a better relationship with you, my wife, my kids. He said, now that's better. So the next thing I knew, he said, Robert, you're about to see some things that's really going to shake your faith. But no matter what you see, don't take your eyes off me, because I'll never leave you or forsake you. So he warned me for, he told me this for a month and 3 weeks, where he told me to go warn my wife at the time, and I did. I told her for a month and 3 weeks, and then shortly after that, I had a major stroke and went into the hospital and had to have a brain procedure to take blood clots out of my brain, an open heart surgery to repair a heart valve that was damaged. I believe they damaged that heart valve when they went in through my thigh and through my body up into my brain to remove the blood clot. But then I had blood clots in my leg, and they had to go in and fish out those blood clots, which took 3 surgeries. And then because of the blood flow restriction to that left leg and left foot, I had to have 3 toes amputated, which that took 2 surgeries because they had to go back in and shave down the bone. It was protruding out from the area that he needed to flap over so it would heal correctly. But altogether, I had like 10 surgeries at that time. And I got aggravated, family, during that process. I said, Pop, I'm so tired of these people steady coming to me about this, that, and the other. This wrong with me, that's wrong with me. I need this surgery, I need that surgery. They want to try this new procedure on me, that new procedure on me. They want to give me a new dope, try this new dope on me. And during this process, I had kidney damage and a lung collapse in one of the surgeries. But the Most High told me, he said, Robert, what did I tell you from the beginning? I said, I'm going to see some things that's going to really shake my belief. But no matter what I see, don't take my eyes off you, because you will never leave me or forsake me. He said, that's right. And also, had you noticed that every time something pops up, we knock it down. And every time something else pops up, we knock that down too. I said, I hear you, Pop, but it seems like you're doing all the heavy lifting. I'm not doing nothing. He said, not so, Robert. He said, if it weren't for your belief in me, I couldn't do nothing for you. He said, we're together in this. I said, yes, sir. So praise the Most High, family. He got me through that situation with, like I said, all them surgeries and then rehab. And they sent me into rehab. I was in rehab for like 11 months. Rehab and then at home rehab. And I had to see a speech therapist and a physical therapist to teach me how to walk again. Basically, I had to learn how to walk and talk again. I couldn't talk for like 2 weeks and a half. And I had a speech therapist who told me to go home and do a journal and record it and then come bring it back to her, and we would work on them words that was hard for me to pronounce. I said, okay. And that turned into what I'm doing now. Praise the Most High. But with that said, come last June, or last month, no, it was last month, a year ago, back in June of 2023, I was out at work and I was doing my own thing. I started my new business and was doing quite well. Was just at the point of ready to hire a helper, and the Most High allowed me to go through another situation. I had to have another open heart surgery. I had a fever, and that fever turned into an infection, and that infection went straight to that heart valve. And they was like, we need to go back in there and change that heart valve out. And that was tough. And I said, okay, Pop, we can handle it. He said, Robert, you better come holler at me. He said, you're going to need a word for this. I said, Pop, the word you gave me the last season did fine. It'll work this time, won't it? He said, you better come holler at me. Get into prayer. Because I was at the hospital and I just knew I had got my confidence up with the prior word that he'll never leave me or forsake me. I'm going to see some things that's really going to shake my belief, but not to take my eyes off him, because he'll never leave me or forsake me. And every time something pops up, we knock it down. He said, no, Robert, come holler at me. And I'm glad I did. He gave me a strong word for that season, and it got me through what I would say was harder than all of everything else I went through the prior back in 2016. And sure enough, it was a tough situation. And I'm not gonna tell it all, but we've told the part about the deja vu situation. That's what made it even worse. But we say praise the Most High, He got us through it. So we can't forget where we come from, family. And we see there in Psalms 119 and 93, it says, I will never forget your precepts, for by them you have given me life. By what, family? His precepts, His word. Him telling me, Robert, you're about to see some things that's really going to shake your faith, but don't take your eyes off me, because I never leave you or forsake you. Now, if you look in Joshua 1 and like 1 through 9, you'll see every bit of that word right there, what he told me. He said, no man will ever be able to stand before you all your life. As I was with Moshe, I'm going to be with you. I never leave you or forsake you. Be strong and very courageous. And go on in and take the land. And that's where we're at today. We're going in and taking the land. But we're not going to forget where we come from. Hallelujah. And let's read this text again. We got to keep reading it. And it's Deuteronomy 8:11-20. We're going to cut it down a bit today. But it says, beware, you do not forget the Most High, your Elohim, by not keeping his commandments, his judgments, and his statutes, which I command you today. Lest, when you have eaten and are full, and have built beautiful houses and dwell in them, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold are multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, when your heart is lifted up, and you forget the Most High, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led you through that great and terrible wilderness in which were fiery serpents and scorpions, and thirsty land where there was no water, who brought water for you out of the flinty rock, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers did not know, that he might humble you, and that he might test you to do you good in the end. Then you say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand have gained me this wealth. Uh-oh, you're in trouble then. And you shall remember the Most High, your Elohim, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth and breath and their heartbeat, that he may establish his covenant with which he swore to your fathers as it is today. And we must say right here in this juncture that there is no rapture. Nope, no rapture. It's only the gathering or the regathering of the Most High's chosen people, that he scattered into the four corners of the earth because of our disobedience to his commandments, laws, and statutes, as it says in the text. And that text is Isaiah 11:12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Yasharal, and gather together the dispersed of Yehuda from the four corners of the earth. And that's what he's doing right now. It says he's setting up a sign for the nations. What is this sign? It's time to get them folks back to their house. Time to send them folks back home. And the major sign is war. And we see it's going on this last final war, World War III. And he's calling them down to the Valley of Decision. And as the text says, he says he's pleading for his people. Let my people go. And that word plead does not mean he's begging for his people. That word plead is demanding that they let his people go. And we see that just as he scattered us using other nations, he's regathering us using other nations also. Like Russia, China, North Korea. What's the other one? Iran. Yeah, he's using them countries to help in his process of regathering his people. And it's a glorious thing in my sight. What the text says, it's a marvelous thing in my sight. And we see that the text in Ezekiel 11:19-20 says, then I will give them one heart, and will put a new ruach within them, and take the stony heart out of their flesh, and give them a heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes, and keep my judgments, and do them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim. Then we see there in Hebrews 8:10, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharal. Is this in Hebrews, the New Testament, or the newest testament? Yes, indeed. He said he's going to make this with Yasharal. None of that replacement theology. Don't no church take the place of Yasharal. No, there ain't no such thing as no spiritual Yasharal. No. You're either born in or you're not, and then you're either grafted in or you're not. And yes, still Yasharal has to be born again under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, but there's no replacing the people. As Saul picked it up and said, don't boast against the original branch, because you're a wild olive. And he's talking to those that's going to be grafted in, the Gentiles being grafted in. And this is an exclamation mark on it. Once again, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharal after those days, says the Most High. I will put my laws in their mind and write them on their hearts. And I will be with them, and I will be their Elohim, pardon me, and they shall be my people. Hallelujah. And for those that think the laws and statutes and commands are over with, tell me this, what you gonna do when it's time to go into the kingdom? And you saying I ain't gonna follow no laws, statutes, and commands. And if you don't, they're gonna kick you out. Or you won't even get into the kingdom because the text says he's gonna purge out the rebels in the wilderness. So yes, you gotta keep the laws, statutes, and commands. Because this is what's getting ready to happen. We're getting ready to go back into our land that he promised us. And I know it's hard for some to see. That's because they're not studying to show themselves approved for this time. You can't see it. But those of us that have been studying and listening to the Ruach HaKodesh, we know what time it is. And we're not going to forget where we come from. Hallelujah. We're going to honor him with our everything every single day and let him show out in and through us. And just as we said in the prior recording, he's saying, these are my beloved children. Listen to them. Since you wouldn't listen when they was telling you out there on them streets, or since you wouldn't listen to your brother or sister, your auntie or your uncle, your mother or father who was trying to tell you that you are the chosen people of the Most High, or that them folks over there are the chosen people of the Most High. Thank you, Pop. And he's gathering together Yasharal, who are the people still in the land in Africa, the homeland. You see how they're getting together in the Sahel region, I think it's called. And then it says he's regathering Yehuda. And that's us that have been scattered to the four corners of the world. And the Most High is gathering us back together first in Ruach, in spirit. And that's how anything is done by the Most High, because he is a spirit, or Ruach, and those that worship him must worship him in Ruach and in truth. So first the transformation had to happen within us inside, and then now it's coming to the physical. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop what he's doing in our individual lives and in the lives of us as a people all together. And I say praise the Most High. We're not going to forget, Pop. We're not going to get the big head and say it was our power and our strength that caused this great miracle to come upon us. No. It was you that did it. Once we get back in the land and them build all them houses and eating good and enjoying ourselves, we're not going to get big headed and say we did this by our power. No, we're not going to forget. We're going to remember laying on them cold operating room beds, hurting like hell. Pardon my French, but getting the living hell snatched out of me. Give me that humble heart. Taking out this stony heart. Yes, indeed, that's what did it for me. I don't know what did it for you, but it was a dying of the flesh where that stony heart had to come out. And then he gave me a heart for his people. First a heart for him, and then a heart for his people. No, I'm wrong. First a heart for him, then a heart for myself, and then a heart for his people. Hallelujah. And we're not turning around, family. We're full steam ahead. We won't forget. No, Pop, we won't forget. We love you so much, family. Do stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. Follow me.